Hi there, my name is Erin DeLathauer and I work in the College of Arts and Science at the University of Saskatchewan. I'm making this little video today to help new students to navigate the college landscape a little bit. What that means is that we're going to be looking at the different types of degrees on offer by the College of Arts and Science, as well as degree requirements, and really just the diversity of programs and classes that are available to students. So to begin with, we're going to look at the different types of degrees on offer. We have roughly five different types of degrees. So there's a Bachelor of Arts degree, a Bachelor of Science degree, a Bachelor of Arts and Science, as well as a Bachelor of Music and a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. These degree types, most of them, come in two different varieties. So a 3-year or a 4-year. And the 4-year also comes in an honors variety as well. We like to think about the length or duration of time that it would take to complete a degree, not so much in terms of years, even though we call them a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree, but rather in terms of the number of credit units that you need to complete in order to complete the degree requirements for a particular type of degree. So, a 3-year degree will require you to complete 90 credit units, and a 4-year degree will require you to complete 120 credit units. There are some small exceptions to that, but for the most part, those are the general rules to bear in mind. You might be wondering what a credit unit is. That's pretty normal. Credit units at the University of Saskatchewan are different from how they work in high schools, and they're also sometimes different from how they work at other institutions. So a typical course, a course that runs in one semester, so the fall semester runs from September through to December, the winter semester runs from January through till April. A course that runs in one of those typical terms will be a 3 credit unit course. So if you were to do 5 courses in the fall and 5 courses in the winter, you would have a total of 30 credit units completed in one academic year. What I always like to tell new students is that even though that was once thought to be the norm, that's not really how it works anymore. A lot of students will take a couple of courses in the spring and summer to lighten their load through the fall and the winter. Many more students, you should know, take a little bit longer than the 3 years or the 4 years to complete their 90 credit units or 120 credit units for their degree. So all of those options are available, and it's important to know that even though you're pursuing a 4-year degree, it might take a little bit longer to complete that degree, and that's perfectly normal. Okay, moving on to degree requirements. So for all of the degrees in our college, roughly, there are 5 different requirements. So new this year, there's the college requirement, which we're going to talk a little bit about in a minute. There's also going to be a breadth requirement. That's number 2. The breadth requirement is something that's going to ensure that no matter what discipline you're studying, you're going to discover a broad range of new knowledge. The cognate requirement is something that sort of goes hand in hand with your major requirements in order to give you the specialized knowledge that you need to have a degree in whatever your major is going to be. Which brings me to the 4th requirement, which is your major requirements. Oftentimes your major requirements there's only going to be a few, if any, first-year level courses that count towards your major requirements. Most of your major requirements are going to be in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year. The 5th category are electives, and depending on the program that you choose, there can be a significant number of elective courses for you to choose from, which is great because it means that you have the freedom to add potentially a certificate or a minor to your degree. Sometimes there are some programs that have sort of additional requirements to that. So for example, the Bachelor of Music, the Bachelor of Fine Arts, there will be performances and exhibits that you would have to complete as well. But in the main, for the most part, those 5 requirements that I've named, the college requirement, breadth requirement, cognate requirement, major requirement, and your electives will round out the different categories of classes that you would take to complete your 120 credit units or 90 credit units for your bachelor's degree in arts and science. The college requirement it's new this year, so you've maybe heard a little bit about it. It's the first, I guess, time the College of Arts and Science has really revamped and changed its curriculum in many, many years. So the new college requirement, effective May 2020 for all incoming students who are starting as of this spring, will include an English language writing requirement, an Indigenous learning requirement, and a quantitative reasoning requirement. So next I kind of want to go through the different disciplines, all of the different disciplines that are available to arts and science students. So not just as majors, these are all majors that you can take, but also just so that you know what kinds of classes you can take as electives and just out of interest. So disciplines in the humanities are those which focus on culture and the human condition, broadly speaking. We have a number of different disciplines in the humanities, which include classical, medieval, and Renaissance studies, English, French, history, modern languages, philosophy, religion and culture, and women's and gender studies. So whether you are choosing to major in one of these disciplines or thinking a little bit about taking some of these classes as electives or to fulfill your breadth requirement, or in some cases to fulfill your English language writing requirement, it's important to know all of the different options available to you in the humanities. We also have disciplines in the social sciences. I'm not going to read them all off to you here, but you'll look at the image and see that these disciplines focus on how people, communities, and societies function. They include everything from anthropology to international studies to sociology, but we have a number of different options available. Most students will take at least one social science class and at least one humanities class, whether that's for their college requirement or their breadth requirement, or as electives or as part of a certificate or a minor. So what I always encourage students to do is think about all of these different disciplines, and if you've never heard of, say, philosophy, or if you've never heard of regional and urban planning, take a look and see what kinds of classes are offered. It might be an area of study that really interests you. It might surprise you. So have a look around and see what's interesting to you. Disciplines in the sciences that you can major in or include, well, I guess they focus on sort of three areas, three rough categories. So there's the biomedical sciences, there's sort of the technical sciences, and then there's the natural sciences. So you'll see that the list is very long there. We have a lot of different disciplines. The biomedical sciences, I'll highlight a few. The biomedical sciences have changed from previous years as well. There's been a little bit of a shift there. So the degree programs that you can complete in the biomedical sciences include biochemistry, microbiology, and immunology. That's one. Biomedical foundations, biomedical neuroscience, and the third is called cellular, physiological, and pharmacological sciences, or as we like to call it, CPPS. In addition, you'll notice that there are, well, maybe you won't notice, but there are a few new program types or program options in the sciences as well this year, including hydrology, which is a major that you can take, and environmental geoscience. The others have been there for many years, so we always offer majors in chemistry and biology and mathematics and mathematical physics and paleobiology, etc. So have a look, and again, if you've never heard of toxicology, if you don't know what that entails, look it up. Look at some of the courses that are offered in that program. It might strike your fancy. It might be something that you never thought of before, but it's exactly right for you. In addition, we have disciplines in the fine arts. So the fine arts are sort of those disciplines which focus on creative art, and they can be appreciated for the imaginative, aesthetic, and intellectual content that's produced. So those disciplines include art history, drama, music education, as well as studio art. I always try to encourage students to take a course in one of these areas. It's a great way to round out your semester. It's a great way to bring diversity and creativity into your life. Um, it's a great way to explore a potential hobby. And they're also fantastic majors that oftentimes students don't really realize are giving you the kinds of skills to um, help you to get to where you want to go. As an example of that, and something that's always surprising to students, we've had students who major in music and go on to study medicine. We have combined Bachelor of Arts and Science programs as well. So these are highly interdisciplinary programs. They include they're degrees which combine the sciences, humanities, social sciences, and fine arts in a very intentional way. So they would include environment and society, where students really develop an understanding of environmental studies, as well as resource management, environmental philosophy, policy, and environmental studies. So this might be a good fit for you if you're looking to help solve the global climate change problem that we face. We also have a Bachelor of Arts and Science degree in Health Studies. This is a degree program that helps students learn how the various aspects of health and wellness are understood within the context of interrelated systems, including the individual, the society, culture, and the environment as well. So it's a very holistic program and really helpful to students who are thinking about maybe becoming a nurse or a doctor or even or a dentist. This approach to health studies, I think, offers students a really unique and well-rounded and holistic approach to patient care. There's also an interactive systems design Bachelor of Arts and Science, which is quite interesting as well. In this program, you would take courses in art history, psychology, and computer science. And this is all in an effort to build knowledge and skills in visual communication, critical approaches to visual systems, fundamentals of human perception, memory, cognition, and the principles of computation and programming needed to design and to evaluate interactive systems. In addition to all of the programs mentioned, we have a number of different minors and certificates, as I've mentioned before as well. So a minor is something that you cannot do without completing a degree. So you have to have a major in order to have a minor. It's part of your one parchment, one certificate at the end, or one degree at the end. A certificate is a standalone piece of paper. It is something that you can do independently of a degree. It's something that you can do alongside a degree as part of your degree, but you'll still receive a separate credential. I guess either way, whether it's a minor or a certificate, both are going to kind of set you apart from others who are taking the same major as you. There are other certificates too. You can see them all listed here. Many certificates help students to prepare for a professional college. So if you were interested in going into law school, for example, taking the Ethics, Justice, and Law certificate as part of your degree, or the Politics and Law certificate, both of these are going to help prepare you really well for law school. Think about how a certificate or a minor might set you apart and might help you to explore an area of study that you'd never really thought of before.